Is Christian content turning into online gossip? Let's talk about it in this video. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been a wave of breaking news in the Christian industry. It seems like there's one after the other, week after week, for the last several years. And on YouTube, I've noticed a trend where Christian content creators, both large and small, tend to grab a hold of this news and maybe in an effort to be relevant, maybe in an effort to gain views or monetization, begin to lay out their opinion or maybe even the actual facts, if they have them, of the situation that has been discovered or that has been brought to light. Now, I kind of want to dig into this a little bit because I'm concerned with where we're at as a Christian community, specifically online. The internet has given everyone the ability to have a voice, and I think that's powerful. I think that's very powerful because God gave you a voice. You were created with a voice, and we should use our voice. But my concern is with how we are actually using our voices. I think in an attempt to hold people accountable, we've just engaged into online gossip. In an attempt to maybe be someone who is shedding the light on the darkness, as some might call it, I think we've actually just joined into a vicious cycle of gossip. Now, I'm not saying that across the board, 100% of the time, that we are wrong for engaging in this type of online activity. But I think that we've got to really look at the difference between sharing what we need to share and sharing what's just harmful for the Christian community. It's harmful to share over and over again the failures and the frailty, and yes, the sin of our own community at the church's expense, at the church as a whole's expense. I think we've got to be careful not to become strictly online gossip channels as a means of getting views and subscribers and all the different things. I mean, here's what Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 28 says. Let's see if this rings a bell with some of what takes place oftentimes. A troublemaker plants seeds of strife. Oftentimes, all our commentary on a situation is, I believe, is a seed of strife. And it grows and grows and grows. And it just is scattered into the secular world where we already oftentimes are fighting a losing battle with the image of the church. And I think we've got to do a better job of saying the right things at the right times in the right moments. Listen, Proverbs goes on to say that gossip separates the best of friends. Gossip, man, it's powerful. We've got to make sure we're not engaging in gossip or just even pointless commentary about things that do nothing but bring people down and harm the church's image as a whole. And it leads me to this question that I've asked myself. Maybe you've asked yourself, why do we, even as Christians, engage in the drama? Why is it so captivating? Because if we didn't, as a community, like that content, then when that content was produced, it would not get the views that it gets. And so we've got to realize that there's this appeal to controversy within our Christian context that is dangerous. It's very dangerous. And we've got to be people of integrity. And we've got to stand for what's right. And we can't get sucked into the drama that is so easy to get sucked into. I mean, I have to admit, there's times I get sucked into it myself. Social media algorithms often promote, this negative view of things over something that is just encouragement. And I think that's what we should be. I think that should be the aim of our content as Christian creators. I believe we should be encouraging one another, the viewers, the listeners, the audiences. I think that will speak volumes of who we are. And in the scenarios where it might be helpful to speak out, I can promise you it's not helpful to speak out on every last person that has fallen or made a mistake or just gone down a path of outright sin and, are bringing shame possibly upon themselves, their family, their church, their ministry, whatever it might be. I think we need to take a higher road. I think I think there's an alternate thing that we can do. I think there's a danger in being a Christian tea channel where all we do is spill the Christian tea. I mean, at the end of the day, what good is that? If we're really honest with ourselves, what good is spilling the tea? I mean, I wouldn't want my tea spilt all over the internet. I mean, for what reason? Let's really ask ourselves, why are we sharing this information? Why are we producing this content? And let's do better. It's the responsibility, I believe, of content creators to edify, not just entertain. There's nothing wrong with entertainment at its core, but oftentimes we are using negative situations to grab a hold of people, to pull them in, when I think we can just simply stick to edifying as the primary means of what we are called to do. Let's speak life. Let's build each other up. Ephesians 4:29. Let the words that come out of our mouth edify those that hear it. I think that's what we need to do. We need to, as consumers of content, we need to not get so focused on consuming the late breaking news. Instead, we need to grab a hold of that thing that's going to build our spirit up. It's going to bring like some better, emotional health. It's going to be better for our soul. So, in conclusion, my question to all of us are Christian content creators actually helping or hurting the church? Are Christian content creators doing their part, or are they taking away from what we've been called to do? Because we've been called to edify the body of Christ. I want to know what you think in the comments, and let's keep this conversation going, because I think it's a conversation that's worth having. And if you're new here, please subscribe, turn on that bell, like this video, and leave me a comment. I want to have a discussion with you on what you think about this topic.